I saw the champagne glass shatter on the marble before the sound even reached me. Just moments earlier, my own mother had whispered to their most important client that I was nothing more than a failure. She didn't notice the jet behind her, the one the client was about to board, was mine. I stood at the edge of the terminal, calm and composed, each word she uttered sinking deeper than she imagined. Then the client turned, squinting at me. "Wait, this is your daughter's company." And in that instant, the carefully constructed web of lies they had built began to crumble. I'm Maya Collins. And if you're wondering how a daughter winds up facing her parents in a private terminal, while they reduce her achievements to triviality, that journey began long before the glass broke. I grew up in a pristine house just outside Boston. The kind where the carpets were always smooth and dinner conversations felt more like boardroom evaluations. My parents, Edward and Vivian Collins, ran a consulting empire and saw children not as people, but as projects to refine. Dad taught me profit margins before I mastered long division. Mom drilled me on posture, speech, and smiles designed to impress the right crowd. But no one taught me who I actually was. When I was 8, riding in the back seat of my father's car, I watched a private jet ascend into a winter blue sky. My chest tightened with awe. Maybe it was hope, maybe it was longing, and I whispered, "I want to fly someday." Dad didn't lift his eyes from the phone. Mom dismissed it. Pilots were just chauffeurs in fancier uniforms. Yet that flicker of desire lingered. I stashed aviation magazines beneath my mattress, borrowed books on aircraft from the school library, and sketched runway layouts on my homework sheet. Meanwhile, my parents had already charted my path. I was to inherit their firm, marry someone suitable, and uphold the Collins reputation. Every step of my upbringing reinforced that narrative. An A- prompted a tutor at dinner. Requests to join sports or art were met with reminders that distraction was unbecoming of a Collins child. Even my bedroom was curated with awards, certificates, and business tomes chosen by them. Never by me. The only person who glimpsed the real me was my high school friend, Jenna Brooks. Her father, Captain Reynolds, a commercial pilot, shared tales that ignited something inside me. "Aviation welcomes those who chase the sky," he once told me. I clung to that line like a hidden vow, but in my house, promises were fragile. When I secretly applied to aviation management programs, Dad found the letters and tore them apart while Mom compared me again to some idealized Ivy League heir she'd met at a country club. That night, I understood something crucial. Love in my family was conditional, and I would never satisfy it. I didn't know then that the following decade would be a constant struggle to meet their impossible standards anyway. College brought a turning point. At home, tension buzzed like an electric hum, ever-present, exhausting, inescapable. My parents insisted I pursue business, so on paper, I complied. But my elective choices told another story. Logistics, operations, transportation systems, quiet rebellions disguised as obedience. Professor Henry Walsh noticed immediately. One afternoon he asked, "You think like someone meant for aviation. Why aren't you there?" I couldn't compress 22 years of familial pressure into a sentence, so I shrugged. He nodded as if he understood. That brief exchange became a doorway: internships, mentors, networks. My hidden passion finally found room to breathe. Of course, secrets in a Collins household never stayed buried. Every trip home turned into scrutiny. Mom asked about my GPA loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Dad grilled me on consulting clubs. Slow answers drew sighs, as if I were squandering the family legacy. Comparisons to other children, the right kids, were constant. To them, I existed only as a checklist, never as myself.